Hello everyone and welcome back to the latest episode of New Media. I'm sorry for being late, by the way, because my car stopped working and I have no idea why it happened. Or maybe, I guess I know, because I haven't taken it in for care in a long time. So basically, speaking of automobiles, Germany and France invented and refined the automobile in the late 80s. But Americans quickly came to dominate the automotive industry in the first half of the 20th century. Now, by the 1920s, Ford, General Motors, and Chrysler had emerged the big three automakers, having pioneered mass production producers that became industry standards. Now, manufacturers diverted their resources to the war during World War II, and as a result, vehicle production in Europe and Japan surged to meet increased demand. With Japan's ascension as the primary car maker by 1980s, the industry has evolved into a shared global enterprise, which was formerly crucial to the expansion of American cities. Although the automobile would have the greatest social and economic influence in the United States, it was invented in Germany and France near the end of the 19th century by men such as Gottlieb Daimler, Carl Benz, Nicholas Otto, and Emily. The 1901 Mercedes, created by William Maybach for Daimler, is regarded as the first modern motor car in every way. And now, ladies and gents, let's move to our next segment. The media story. Well, of course, it's about cars. Who was the inventor of the automobile? There's no simple answer to this question. The automobile has a long history that extends back to the 15th century when Leonardo da Vinci started producing a concept and models for transportation vehicles. Let's watch this video and come back.
Part of what this exhibition is doing is showing that Leonardo was an engineer of his day. And he had rivals. And Leonardo's originality comes from the imaginative dimension, that's true, and also the liveliness of his drawings. So when we look at Leonardo's drawings, because he's a great draftsman, and in our terms a great artist, he draws a portrait, if you like, of a machine that makes you look as though it's doable, it convinces you. So people have been interested in trying out Leonardo's machines, partly I think because the drawings are more convincing than the more mundane engineering drawings that others are producing. He's not a standout genius. Other people are making machines comparable to his. On the other hand, there are areas where he is special and where he is interested in things that other people aren't interested in, and that's flight.
There are numerous sorts of autos, including steam, electric, and gasoline, as well as numerous styles. Who invented the vehicle is a topic of debate. Now, earlier accounts frequently credited Carl Benz of Germany with inventing the first genuine vehicle in 1885 to 1886. However, our understanding of the genuine automobile development is still evolving. The story of the automobile's invention has been embellished by several other personalities who played a huge role in the history. Carl Benz patented a three-wheeled motor in 1886. It was the first real modern automobile. Hence, Benz is often regarded as the man who invented the automobile. In addition, Benz patented his own throttle system, spark plugs, gear shifters, a water radiator, a carburetor, and other automobile basics. Benz subsequently founded the Daimler Group, which still exists today.
Netherlands was born on the 25th of November, 1844 in Karlsruhe. He later attended the Polytechnic University there, before gaining his first practical experiences at various mechanical engineering companies. He founded his own company in 1872, the Eisengießerei und Mechanische Werkstätte. However, it was not much of a success at first. It was only the dowry of Karl's wife, Bertha, that saved them from immediate ruin.
In the early 50s, Leonardo da Vinci drew a horseless automated cart. It, like many of his designs, was never built during his lifetime. A replica, however, is on display at Leonardo's last residence, which is now a museum. Hello and welcome back, ladies and gents, to the Upload segment. And it's becoming my favorite now because we get to meet lovely, beautiful, amazing people every week from different parts of Kuwait to share with us their experience in social media, new media in general, giving us tips, stories, ideas of how did they start, when did they start, and of course they motivate us to be who we are. Please welcome with me today Marzouk Saeed. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm very pleased and delighted to be here.
Of course, you are so happy, and I'm happy as well for you to be here with us. I will also mention this in a bit. But before we start, Marzouk, this is like a usual casual thing here in New Media. I ask the guest to look at their camera. This is your camera, and tell us something about yourself in like 2 sentences.
Hi, my name is Marzouk. I am a content creator, motivational speaker, public speaking and self-development coach and trainer. I wear many hats.
Nice. All right, that's more than enough, fair enough, because this is exactly why I mentioned that I really like people like Marzouk.
Yes.
They, if I someone put me down by listening to your videos, it will motivate me, and then I will go back on track, get me back on. I will go back to the gym. If I quit, I will go back to practicing my music or instrument if I failed one day. So the type of people who inspire others to be successful. So this is why you're important in our lives, Marzouk. Now let's talk about how you started being a public speaker in the first place.
Public speaking started with me during when I was in America studying abroad. I was in an English institution. During that time, there was an assignment where you have to be like a debate. There's a debate and you have to speak in public in front of the audience. I did my part. I started speaking. I was very confident. I was very happy to speak in front of the audience. I didn't have any issues. And then people started realizing me, like using body language, using like different voice vocabulary, you know? And they were like, you are really talented in public speaking. Do you take any courses? Who taught you that? Have you like decided to follow your passion for public speaking? And during that time, I realized the ability that I have in public speaking in front of the audience. And from that, I started to take courses, started to develop my ability until I reached a level where I'm very confident and proud of.
Nice. Well, you guys, you have to know this because I met Marzouk around 2 years ago in one of the organizations that motivate people that have, let's say, they lack confidence for speaking, self-esteem. It was called Toastmaster. It's an international organization. Can you talk about this so that people get to know
more?
Sure.
Toastmaster is an international organization where people can attend for different meetings. During these meetings, you can speak in public. You can learn different public speaking tips. Also, you can learn different leadership strategies and techniques, so you can be an effective speaker and a leader at the same time.
Nice. So I was invited, by the way, like 2 years ago, and that's where I met him. We haven't had like a proper conversation, though. This is the good place and time for us to talk and share the stories. It's a very nice place, and this is the place for him. I mean, he was speaking, he was telling stories, and of course, so many other people that lack the confidence to speak. This is the place for them to be a public speaker. From a public speaker to a motivator, that's a huge new level, right? New level. So how did you think of this idea?
I thought about this idea when I was abroad, you know. Studying abroad you're being experienced to different cultures, different issues, different cultural shock, different experiences, a lot of stories. So I was thinking of taking these stories back with me to Kuwait and then try to deliver it to the people and trying to make them see the point of view that I'm seeing through the stories, through sharing different stories, quotes, motivational quotes, as well as different statistics, so people can see a new level of motivational speaking.
Nice. Now let's link all of this together to the social media. How did you link all of this, and how did you start uploading, posting these videos on social media?
As you know, when you have a hobby or you have a habit and you used to do it like many times, and suddenly you cannot do it anymore, you will think about different ways to do it and keep doing it. And that's what happened to me like during the pandemic. Everything was closed, people cannot have any gatherings, any meetings. And it was very pressure, you know, like a lot of pressure, because you cannot practice your passion with meeting people and start speaking in front of them. So I was thinking what other options I could do. And then I thought about starting like social media through the phone. I started like having my own phone, my camera, and then recording myself speaking. And I was very kind of stressed at that time because it's a new experience.
You're used to people, now
Exactly.
You're looking at the camera.
It used to be like in person, and now, as you mentioned, in camera, it's a different level. People think like people who are confident speaking in person, they're gonna be also confident in camera, but it's a different experience. So I started recording, and then I edit my video. After that, I was the time to deliver the video to social media, upload it. And I was very nervous. What people gonna react, how they gonna react, what they gonna say, what comments I'm gonna have. But as soon as I delivered the first video, I found a lot of love from people.
Nice.
They started supporting me. They started like mentioning me in their stories, you know, supporting and saying like very lovely and encouraging words. And that kind of gave me the push to become the motivational speaker that I am today.
So they motivated you to be our motivator.
Exactly.
Is that so? By sharing their love and the lovely feedback from the people. How about the ideas of the videos? How would you think of a video like today? You're going to upload this topic. What do you think before uploading? How do you prepare it?
Before I upload, sometimes when you are reading a book or listening like to a TED Talk or watching like an informational video on YouTube, you get a lot of ideas. And these ideas kind of spark new ideas in your brain and kind of make you think about new experiences or experiences that you've been through in the past. So I have like a pen and paper, and then start like writing all the ideas, different ideas that I have. Then try to think about what kind of stories that are gonna fit in these ideas, what kind of quotes I'm gonna use. And then I start like practicing in front of the mirror, having my main points, my key points, and then I start recording and delivering the content on social media.
Nice, that's sweet and professional. And you have
Trying to be.
everything organized
Yes.
and such.
You
And
have to.
I really love the idea that you film yourself, you edit, and then you share. You are that one-man show. You do everything. How did you learn about editing and all these kind of things?
Nowadays, you have to be the joker. What I mean by the joker is a card that can do multiple things in one time. Any social creator who wants to be effective, he have to learn about like videography, photography, about editing, lights, equipments, and everything. So you can, because you are the one with a message, you know how to deliver it and what does it need. If you give that assignment to other person, he might not do it as right or as professionally as you want it to be.
Exactly.
So knowing all these skills and knowing all these different techniques and strategies in editing gonna help you deliver your message the way you want it and the time you want it. Can you imagine about how much time you're gonna save by just learning a new skill?
Yeah, of course. Imagine just me filming this and then sending this to someone who would edit
Exactly.
it, and then someone would prepare my message. It will take a
lot of
long
time.
life.
And also like money. So why spending money and time on different people where you can have it and enjoy it by yourself?
That's brilliant. That's nice, actually.
Thank
now,
you.
let's talk about one of your highest viewed videos out there and a story behind it, if you are familiar with it.
I actually got like many videos, like get a lot of
Like
views.
what's the best one?
The best one, it was about story about comparison. Comparison, one of the issues that a lot of people suffer from. We compare each other, we compare ourselves with other people.
Other people.
And that's really sometimes could take us to different a gateway for negative thoughts. And then you're gonna focus on negative inside instead of the positivity. So the story behind that video, it was in America. I was practicing one of sports. It's called capoeira. Capoeira is a combination between martial arts and that's at the same time gymnastic movements.
All right.
So during that time, when I was practicing this game, one of my teammates, she told me, Marzouk, after the practice was finished, Marzouk, you are way better than me in this. I was like, what do you mean? You're way better than me. You have more progress than I have done. I thought, no way. You did this for a long time. You can do even crazy moves that I cannot do it myself. So how I am way better than you? She said, no, you are way better than me in my beginnings. Not now, in my beginnings. And that kind of sparked a new light in my head. We usually compare ourselves to the final edit or the final copy of people. We not compare ourselves to the beginnings. And then I learned that don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else chapter 20.
Okay.
Yes.
That's nice. That's
and
a
that
nice
message,
story.
people loved it, they shared it, and it was amazing.
You had me smiling. I mean, you guys know already why I like this guy.
Thank you.
Always a motivator, always nice stories, and this is why I liked him, because at the Toastmaster thingy, you had a story. I have no idea what is the story. Was it 2 years ago? But it was lovely. That's why it caught my attention. It caught everyone's attention, and it motivates the people who listen to you.
I appreciate it. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being part of this show and being in our world, Marzouk. I mean, I know a group, a community. I have no idea if you know them. They're called the Lions, maybe.
The Lions. Interesting name.
Yeah, they scream and shout and motivate people in this way. So whenever I stop going to the gym, I turn on one of their. It's a playlist on YouTube. I just type Lion motivational speech for gym, and then I have this guy who screams at me, "Wake up at 3 a.m. Go to the gym, eat your food," and all these kind of things. It really works. It really works. It's part of someone's successful life, I would say. I mean, it's not the main thing. You should not depend on someone who motivates you,
Exactly.
right? But it's part of it.
At least maybe they spark.
They spark something in me.
Exactly.
That keeps me going. And this is why it's very important to have someone who motivates you. Even though you failed 1 time, twice, 3 times, just never quit. Do whatever you're doing.
We need to hear these messages from time to time from people around us. Yeah.
In all kind of ways. In, let's say, hobbies, sports, anything. It can be anything. Now, let's talk about the equipment now we use. You mentioned the camera, like phone. Do you have you improved by time with better quality equipment, or a phone is just enough for you to film yourself, tell the people something nice? What is it?
Yeah, definitely. You have to improve your equipment.
Is it necessary?
It is, especially like with the upgrade of 4K, 8K. You know, people want to see like very high quality picture. And if you are like, for example, you and I, we are both providing the same picture, the same message, okay? But you are using like way more advanced equipment than I'm using. Even though I have maybe like greater message, or maybe some slightly greater message than yours, people will still prefer the high quality picture over the message with low quality picture.
Now I have this tricky question for you. Now, if we were both motivational speakers, what would make me different than you?
What's gonna make us different is the experience that you had. Experience what's gonna make us different. We both maybe like have the pandemic. During the pandemic, we both experienced the pandemic.
Exactly.
But Daej's story is way different than Marzouk's story. He was in America, but Daej was in Kuwait. Maybe he has a lot of different obstacles that he overcome during that time. He has different skills that he has discovered during that time.
Exactly.
At the same time, Marzouk had discovered
many different mysterious things in us during the pandemic, because we had like a lot of free time.
Exactly.
Now, Marzouk, I really like talking to you and sharing with us, of course, you sharing with us these stories. But in the end of any interview, we again look at the camera and tell the people an advice, and that's why we're running out of time. So I really would like an advice or a motivational thing for people to do anything in their life.
If you want to reach any goal in your life, you have to think about the big picture, the huge goal that you want to achieve. And then divide the goal into small steps they can achieve over time. This small progress will eventually lead you there. Small steps at a time will lead you to your goal, and then you'll be able to achieve it.
Thank you so much. Well, dear viewers, that was Marzouk Inspire from Instagram. Please follow him if you are interested in motivational speaks. Thank you so much for being part of this.
Thank you.
And hopefully we get to see you again soon.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Daej. I really enjoyed it.
Welcome back to my favorite section, games and everything about games. However, this time it's all about cars. So, the top 3 driving games of the recent decade are the following. Starting with GT Sport. It's debuted that in the late 2017 with a limited car lineup and only a single player mode. Many wondered if Gran Turismo series founder Kazunori Yamachi had finally lost his touch. However, turns out though that it was his method of gradually luring gamers into an online racing ecology inspired by genuine motorsport. After everyone had been seduced into the cult of daily online races, he went ahead and introduced more cars as well as career mode. As it stands, GT Sport is the apex of console simulation and Gran Turismo 7 in all but name, with an intuitive and believable handling model and a structure that incorporates the best prices from real-world racing. The automobile list is also growing on a monthly basis for free, and the new circuits appear from time to time. So if you ever fell in love with Gran Turismo, it's time to pick up some flowers from the gas station, of course, and reignite the flames. In the second place comes Mario Kart 8. As far as racing icons go, Mario does not quite meet the bill. He's not an athletic, precise athlete who subsists slowly on chicken and brown rice. Neither are his overall emblems with sponsor logos. He does, however, wear a niggle-manchel mustache for instead, increased downforce. So, the winning formula has been replicated but never surpassed, and Mario Kart 8, swooping courses and shockingly stunning for a game with engine that peak out at 200cc. Plus, thanks to more recent Nintendo Switch version, which allows you to pop out the controller for instant 2-player clashes, you may claim Mario Kart bragging right wherever you choose, on the bus, in the park, beneath the table, during meetings or anywhere, even here, we can play it. So anyway, the last game for today is Forza Horizon 4, which is my favorite. As a result, it is our choice for the best driving game of the decade and the one that most accurately express our passion of cars. Back in 2012, the Horizon series forcibly infused pleasure back into the Forza franchise, taking the series' extensive car list and offering you an open-world sandbox to play in it. Forza Horizon 4 enhanced that delicious cocktail by adding seasonal weather transitions and also setting it in a compacted greatest hits of the British countryside. It's practically like speeding through the Emmerdale opener in a McLaren Senna. Importantly, despite the fact that it incorporates real cars, it does not obsess about realism. Instead, it's the kind of automotive adventure that you fantasize about but could never achieve in real life, since dry stone walls are very strong and landing a 1,000 feet leap in a Bugatti Chiron would shoot a very expensive pair of front shocks into low Earth orbit. But if this entire list demonstrates anything, it's that reality is overvalued in the first place. So that's it today for the gaming segment. We hope that you enjoy it. Great intro with new media story and also astonishing guest. And can't forget about the video game section. So we hope you enjoyed this episode of New Media and see you again in the next one, hopefully.